favorite memory is from when we come up visit in the summertime, and every morning I would get up just as early as he would, and he'd make us both a cup of coffee, and we'd sit out on the front porch, and he'd tell us stories like always. But I love spending that time with him. But this last time we were there, he said something to me that really comforts me now, and I didn't really think anything of it then. But finished his story, just kind of stopped and put his coffee down. He looked at me and said, "If the Lord were to take me today, I feel like I lived a good life." And I definitely feel like that's true, and most of us do, I'm sure. And it just makes me feel good knowing that he was ready, and we all know he's having a great time.
Yes.
I'm Nick. I'm Jake's older brother. We're Angela's. I'm going to share my older sister and my older brother's statements. This is Ashley's mother. My pappy, I'm just at a loss. I can't believe you're gone. My heart hurts. This man means so much to me, and I'm forever grateful that he got to see me get married and hold and love my children. He loved his family unconditionally and always put us first. He is so loved by everyone, and I miss him. I know his legacy will live on forever. I'm his only granddaughter, so the bond we shared was so special. There are so many wonderful memories I've stowed away that I'll never forget. One that always stands out is Pappy pushing me in the blue swing in the front yard when I was little. It's just a swing to some people, but to me they are precious memories that and plus it went through all the grandchildren, and we even hung it back up for his great-grandchildren. I want to thank him for all the wonderful summers spent in Guyana and teaching us all we need to know about gardening, fishing, making jelly, salsa, and putting us to work. My brothers turned out to be fine young men, and I know he had a big part in that. He has done so much for our family, our country, and his community. His legend will live on forever. I love you, Pappy. I miss you until we meet again. Your granddaughter, Ashley. This is my older brother, Josh's. Says, Pappy did a lot for others. He did a lot for me. That's just who he was. I never asked anything from him, mostly because I didn't have to. Most of my memories of my childhood came from Guyana. I would look forward to coming here every summer. It was our family vacation every year. Pappy made it that way. I remember one time he built a go-kart, and I'm pretty sure it was from scratch. It was wide open, but so much fun. Pretty dangerous. I think we all crashed on it. I think every one of us crashed on it individually. He'd also have a few tractors, a few hundred tractors for us to drive around his garden, and let us drive his truck around wherever, even if we got stuck. Another memory was when he built us a water slide. That thing was a mile long the way I remember it. You might have hit a few rocks on the way down, but it was worth it. He built swings, he made us huge bonfires, he got us good fishing spots, put all of his time into us whenever he visited to make sure every second of it counted. The point is, the man would put in all his effort, a tremendous amount, so that we could have fun. He would go to the ends of the earth just to put a smile on someone's face, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. You can't be in a bad mood around him. Something about him just makes you feel good. I'll miss him. Josh. I'll always remember, I tell H all the time, my fiance is there. Coming to Guyana was our greatest memories. I'll never top the vacations. We didn't go on many family vacations, but we didn't need to, because this was the greatest place. And I never, like Josh said, that Mom and Pappy always put all their effort into just making us have a good time, just have fun. And they did such a good job. They didn't even have to do anything, but they went to such efforts. I'll never top it. And y'all talk about his smile a lot, and you can always tell we didn't see him a whole bunch, but the few times a year we did see him, he would always have that giant smile on his face, and he was so happy to see us. He was just so excited, and he would hug you so tight. I mean, he truly, truly loved us so much. That's what made the vacation special. I never really thought about it much until recently, but it was just the love that they had for us. You can't replicate that. You can't make that up. It's so special, and I hope that I can give it to my grandkids and my kids someday in the future. I'll remember it forever. We did tons of stuff, like Josh listed, the bonfires, the watermelons were always huge. Watermelons. He tried to grow some too, but they never turned out real big. So it's the only fruit that he couldn't make enormous. So he'd either go take one from somewhere or Salvador always brought over the biggest watermelons, and Josh would devour them in like maybe 30 seconds, maybe. But working in the garden was fantastic. My mom used to get onto him because he'd make us work in the garden, but we really loved it. I mean, it was good. We got to work out because we all played sports. I don't know, that was just so special. And the fact that he was able to keep it up into his old age just shows what he's willing to do for what he loves and the people that he loves. He was so loyal, like you were saying. I mean, and he showed it too. Like, you know, people that you just think are loyal, but he was loyal to the point he loved people so much. And me and him always had a special connection because they said that I got his iron stomach. We would devour some food and just hot sauce all over the place. Yeah, he would always bring me back to the patio whenever he'd make something new, and he'd ask me what to put in it and stuff, and let me try it first because he knew just like everyone said, he was such a great guy, and I'm so blessed to have had him. And it doesn't feel like he's gone because he's just always been a constant in my life, and he'll always be there. That's just how he made you feel, like I said. It's how he was. He was definitely one of my best friends, even though I didn't get to see him much. But even though it hurts that he's gone, it really does. And but I know that none of us are as happy as he is right now. None of us will ever be on this earth as happy as he is right now. And I just have this picture in my mind, this vision of him going straight to the throne, straight to Jesus, just running on up to him, and just telling Jesus about us, his family, and his friends, like Jesus doesn't already know us. I just see it. I know it's happening. I know it. But that's all I have to share.
Hey, I'm Christopher Jackson Queen. I'm the son of Sherry Queen. I'm going to be reading a couple of statements from one of the grandkids and a couple of Leo's Pappy's brother and sister, and so from Wanda, his sister, and from James, his brother. Thinking of Leo and the wonderful times in our life. But first I pray that you are walking around heaven with that big sweet smile that is even bigger than the one you gave all of us. I know for all the loved ones I know for all that loved you here on earth, no comparison as to what's the happiness and the love that you will receive in your home in glory. Life on earth has been tough at times, but you always had a positive outlook for a better tomorrow. No special day stands out in my mind as we visited almost every day, but how I love to see the big happy face of yours enter the room. You did so many special deeds for all of our family. You were a father figure to my children and grandchildren, always complimenting them on their best traits and encouraging them to be their best and to see the best in others. Never fault finding, just love and encouragement. Miley told Tammy that she would carry on making your fig jelly just as you taught her how. Knowing that you gave her that confidence, it means a lot. I can't begin to name all of the sweet little gestures of your love and kindness. I hope you knew how much you were loved and appreciated by all around you. And I feel you did. James just yesterday expressed how you delighted in doing special things for him, like peeling shrimp for him as his arthritic hands would not permit him to do it, cracking and shelling pecans for him, taking him to the doctor, bringing him breakfast made with love and those wonderful blueberries from your vast orchard. Your brotherly love shared on you almost daily trips to the burger den and visiting with all of your buddies there. But you were always bringing us some of your homemade goodies, as this was just some of the ways you showed love. I'm glad you were so much like Papa with a giving heart. Your encouragement to folks who were feeling down was just a special trait of yours, and I know that all the veterans in the nursing homes are going to miss your visits and uplifting talks. Plus, there was never a time that you weren't ready to visit them and many homebound close friends just because you felt they needed a touch of love that particular day or would take gifts to them from our American Legion. 2 days before leaving us, we talked about so many things. You expressed what a rich man you were to have felt such love from Peggy and all of your Alabama family at Christmas. Said it was the best time ever. Leo would show me little Lily and Lauren's pictures on his cell phone, and I would show him, and he would show me recent things Ashley would post on Facebook. He was proud to tell everyone that Lauren would quote our President Donald Trump when she could barely talk, saying, "Build the wall." Quite a sight to see, actually. My goodness. I am so glad he felt their presence of love, even though he didn't get to visit as often as he would have liked, and what joyous times he had with all of our loved ones. I could go on all day thinking of all kinds of words and deeds you did, but you were one kind, sweet brother, and I am certainly going to miss you. But I just pray that we will be together again. The happy times when our family sat at that big round table many years ago growing up, and all the joys you felt in life are no comparison to the love afforded you this day in paradise. Forever love, James, Wanda, and family. A statement from Miss Mildred, Leo's sister. So many memories of Leo flood my mind that I'll never forget. I once told him that he reminded me so much of Papa because of his generosity and sweet nature, were just like him. He said, "That's the best compliment I have ever had." Leo visited me and JT every week and never came with empty hands. There's always something he had grown or cooked or canned. After JT suffered a stroke in 1986, Leo would sit and talk and tell stories to make him smile. After we lost JT in 2007, Leo was such a blessing and comfort during my grief. I will miss his big hugs, his hearty laugh, and his love. He will live on in my heart forever. A statement from Chase Channell, the grandson. Pappy always made everyone feel loved, and he always had a smile on his face. There was never a dull moment anytime you were with him. For me personally, I consider it a great honor that my name is Christopher Jackson Queen, because his name was Leo Jackson Whaley. There are so many memories that do come to mind whenever I think about him, and certainly even little character traits that I might have accidentally picked up along the way, like whenever time he'd sit down and say, "Well, my goodness." Or whenever time, I know it every time. It's so weird. Anytime I know he's in the room and I go and I'm going to go greet him for the first time of any trip, or even in the morning, he'd look at me, and before he'd come and give me one of those big bear hugs that almost broke your back and cracked your ribs, and he would always look at me and say, "Well, how about it, big boy?" And I'm pretty certain he said that to many other people other than me. I'm pretty certain he said that to almost everybody. One memory, though, that really sticks out is that he actually was the one who taught me how to shoot a rifle. He was a crack shot. I mean, I heard stories from my mother and from some of the others that he could shoot a bee with a BB gun. Like, I don't know how insane of a shot that is, but I can only dream of acquiring that kind of skill, But it's so special because he taught me how to shoot a rifle, and he always taught me with his dad's rifle. I think his name was Joseph Jackson Whaley. He taught me using his dad's rifle, single shot 22. And I remember one day, I think it was one summer or something along the lines, I remember he gave it to me. He said, because this is my daddy's rifle. He was a Jackson. I'm a Jackson and you're a Jackson. You're my namesake. And he gave me that rifle. I'm never going to forget that, and it's going to become like a little tradition that every single time there's a Jackson in the family, we're going to pass that rifle down for generations to come. Because if there's one thing Pappy knew how to do right, it was to carry a legacy. He was a pioneer, and he was a true person who carried generational legacy. Thank you very much.